Indiana's offense is leading the WNBA. Sporting News finally put it on the page. And the power rankings are catching up. The Fever are number 3. The Liberty are all the way down to 12th. And somehow, Sophie Cunningham is the week's most interesting side plot.
Indiana Fever Daily. And yeah, we're past the "are they real" question. SI basically answered that for us.
3 things are moving at once here. The offense getting national validation, the East standings getting scrambled, and Cunningham becoming the story you can't ignore besides Clark. Let's get into all of it.
And that ESPN Playmakers piece finally treats Clark like a basketball mind, not just a ratings event. About time.
Rodney Knuppel, writing in Sporting News.
Through 6 games, the Fever lead the WNBA in scoring at 93.7 points per game behind the backcourt duo of Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. Clark is averaging 23.8 points per game, while Mitchell is right behind her at 22.3.
Sporting News has Indiana up at number 3, and the way they frame it is team first. Clark at 23.8, Mitchell at 22.3, and Indiana as the only team with 2 players in the top 4 in scoring. That is a backcourt problem for every defense in the league.
93.7 a game, and people were still acting like we needed more evidence. Sporting News calling it one of the WNBA's biggest early storylines. That's the discourse catching the box score, finally.
And don't leave Aaliyah Boston out of this. The whole offense as a system thing only works if the spacing is there. And a 3-time All-Star doing that work doesn't always show up where people are staring.
The defensive question is still right there underneath all of it. Everybody wants to celebrate 93 points. I want to know what happens when the full rotation is back and Stephanie White has to get consistent stops from all of them, not just ride the offense through it.
This one's from EssentiallySports.
The Indiana Fever's last game against the Golden State Valkyries on Saturday turned out to be a gritty, highly physical battle that came with quite a bit of drama. The Fever ultimately secured the 90-82 victory, of course. But now, they are set to face the Valkyries once again on Friday, this time on Golden State's home court.
Sophie Cunningham said on her podcast this week, when asked what she's bringing into the Valkyries rematch, "They're just a really good fundamental squad. Like they play fast." That's a real scouting read, not just post-game filler. And it comes from somebody who just dealt with them in a 90-82 grind on Saturday.
What keeps jumping out to me is that Cunningham is the one saying it publicly, not a coach, not a team statement. She's on her own podcast, laying out the film room prep out loud, and that's a veteran owning the rematch conversation.
Friday's game is in Golden State, so the pace piece matters even more. The Valkyries pushing tempo at home is a different headache than managing it at Gainbridge, and Cunningham saying it now means Indiana isn't walking in blind. This one's from Sports Illustrated.
In the span of a week, the New York Liberty fell from 2nd to 12th in the WNBA standings following 3 consecutive losses. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever are right back in the mix after 3 straight wins, and the Atlanta Dream overtook the Las Vegas Aces for the number 1 seed.
SI's power rankings are out, and the East just got a lot more interesting. Atlanta at number 1, Indiana at number 3, and the Liberty dropping from 2nd to 12th after 3 straight losses.
Haha, 2nd to 12th in 1 week. That's not a slump, that's a crater. Meanwhile, the Fever went from "are they real" to top 3 in the same stretch. That's the early season story in one snapshot.
Atlanta's the team to watch here. Ryan Howard's got back-to-back 20-point games, and Angel Reese looks a lot more settled with 15 after that slow first 2 weeks. The Dream aren't just sitting on the 1 seed, they're earning it.
So now Indiana's ceiling comes with an actual standings number attached to it. It's not "can they compete" anymore. It's "can they catch Atlanta?" Different conversation.
This one's from ESPN.
As the league celebrates its 30th anniversary this season, ESPN will be reflecting on the past 3 decades. We begin by ranking the 10 most dynamic playmakers we've seen in the WNBA. This isn't just a list of all-time assist leaders.
ESPN's 30th anniversary Playmakers piece drops Clark into a historical frame with Chelsea Gray. Not as a ratings story, not as a controversy, but as a real court vision argument. Preparation, instinct, reads the defense in a microsecond. That's the first time a major outlet has used the league's own anniversary to put her in that kind of company.
That's the piece I've been waiting for. Not Clark is good for the league's bottom line. Actual basketball language. Court vision, preparation, flair. Gray's been running the Point God show for 12 years, and they're in the same sentence. That's a different kind of validation than the discourse machine usually gives you.
And the anniversary frame matters. ESPN is using league history to make the case, not just reacting to a viral moment, so this is a lot harder to wave off. Here's Sophie Cunningham at Yahoo Sports.
During a recent episode of her Show Me Something podcast, Cunningham openly praised the way games are being officiated this season while discussing a defensive play she made against the Seattle Storm. For a player who was previously fined for criticizing officials, the comment stood out immediately.
Sophie Cunningham started the week as a rotation story, then turned into an officiating story, and now Yahoo Sports is reading her comments as a sign the WNBA may actually be responding to what players have been saying. 3 different frames from the same player in 4 days.
And the detail that matters is she was fined before for criticizing officials. And now she's on her own podcast saying, "I hope people quote me on this," while praising the refs. That's not venting. That's a player doing the math and deciding the league earned the compliment.
The officiating thread has quietly moved from locker room noise to something that could actually touch policy, and Cunningham connected both ends of it. That part is worth saying out loud.
My only pushback, the WNBA may finally be hearing players, is a pretty big headline off one podcast episode. Let's see if the tighter whistles hold before we hand out the redemption arc.
If you want to keep up with the fever every day, try Angel City Daily Podcast, a daily ACFC supporter briefing with match reaction, NWSL standings, roster moves, women's soccer in Los Angeles, and supporter buzz. Find it wherever you listen to podcasts. You'll find links to every story we covered today in the show notes, so if something caught your ear, you can jump in and read more there. Thanks for listening. That's Indiana Fever Daily Podcast for today. This is a Lantern Podcast.